Today, we are going to build out the door knocking and mailing expired relaunch package. Easy to do. Once you do it once or twice, you'll see how easy it is. And it will be a beautiful thing. So there's a link for our school. Go ahead and join our school, because everything in here, I will be between school and my listings to leads account. And what we're going to create is a version of this so that we can, whether we door knock or mail, we got an absolutely dynamite package that we can get to people and start winning more listings. All right. So Anita Graham. Anita Graham, welcome to our live call. Have you been with us before, Anita? I know I see your listings coming through every so often.
I have been before, yeah.
You have? Awesome. Okay, great. So what I'm going to do today is, and if you haven't joined our school classroom, make sure you join that. Again, I'm going to put the link in one more time, because I know sometimes you come in and you don't see previous links. So there's a link to our school. When you get in here, what you're going to do is click on the classroom at the top. Make sure you're at Listings to Leads Lab. Click Classroom, and the one right here for 2026 Expired Pipeline Builder. Click on that one, and everything you need is right here. But today, I am going to walk through door knocking, Premier Expired Leads. And what are Premier Expired Leads? These are the bulk of the good expireds in your local area. So in your area, every day, there's new expireds coming through. I categorize them into 3 groups. Luxury, that's where we create a presentation specifically for their home, right? Their name, their address is on the cover. That is their home. All the way throughout, it is their home. Premier, that's where we create this presentation in our Listings to Leads account, and we use it for 85-90% of all the expireds. So the luxury might be, in my area, 1.4 million and above. Premier, 1.4 to 750,000. Below Premier, it's going to be what we call standard. And so that bulk of all the listings are going to get this if I need to mail or door knock. So of course we're going to try to text it to them and email it to them. But sometimes we want to door knock or we want to mail something in the mail. And so that's what we're going to go through today. It is super easy, but I'm sure it's a little bit confusing and convoluting in the very beginning. William, I see that you've joined us. Or give me one second, because William, let me know if you're in the call here or not. What we're going to cover, William, you'll still want to know, but if you order copies of these from us, and William, I am waiting to hear back from you. I've emailed you 2 emails, I think, waiting for approval from you. So you just got to look at those emails. Search Scott at listingstoleads.com if you didn't see the email. But you got 2 emails, William, and you've already got this in your account, the one to text and email. And so again, this is for Premier expireds. It's going to be 85 to 90% of the ones you're going after. And so in Listings to Leads, I'm just going to show you what it looks like. And then we're going to go through and we're going to create the whole package. So we're going to create the presentation. And again, the presentation is awesome because we're going to use it for 85 to 90% of all expireds. Then we're going to create the cover letter. You only need to create the cover letter once. And then going forward, all you have to do is just swap out the name at the top of it. And then we're going to create the trash sheet that will be unique for each listing. And then we're going to create the home selling process overview, which is the same thing for everybody. So once you've got most of these assets, it's just the same thing that you're sending out to everybody. All right. So with that, let me show you. So in my Listings to Leads account, and again, we're going to create this together. I've got this listing and it's called A Beautiful Home, Placer and El Dorado Counties. So again, William, you've already got this in your account, but we're going to walk through the entire mailing and door knocking process. So we're going to walk through creating the image, how to create the booklet. I'll talk about the introduction. And just like the one that we can create for a listing presentation or for a luxury expired, the link is clickable to the property website. This is so awesome, right? When people can actually see your tools in addition to the presentation, it's just a game over at that point. I've had so many people tell me right at about here is when they can see the light bulb go off in the seller's head, and they know they pretty much got this from this point forward, because they'll tell the seller, if they're working off the Flipbook, yeah, go ahead and click that link and boom, pops up. And pull out your phone, go ahead and scan the QR code, and they pull out their phone, they scan the QR code, boom, property website comes up. It's really beautiful. And somebody was telling me this the other day, right? It goes through coming soon. That's optional. I like to leave it in there. I can explain why later. But then we got the just listed, open house, active, pending, right? We talk about how even though your home will go into contract, we don't stop marketing your home until we close escrow. And then somebody was telling me this, and they said the sellers love seeing their home with marketing to just sold. So when you are in a listing presentation, make sure you create these for their specific home, because as you're going through it, they're going to be sold. All right. They know who walks in with a 26, 27 page branded custom marketing presentation featuring their home that's interactive, right? Links, QR code, text code, all right, showing all the different stages. And again, it's that marketing to just sold with their home right there, just sold. They start envisioning it. It becomes less abstract, and it's, wow, Anita Graham is going to get my home sold. That's what I want. So it just becomes, you become the obvious choice when we can get this in front of people. All right. And so on the school mastermind, or in the school classroom for expireds, typically I just walk through this whole thing every time, and I'm not going to do that today because I want to focus on door knocking and direct mail. So when you get in here, you'll see door knocking, and then you'll see direct mail. So I'm going to click on door knocking, open it up, and I'm going to click on the first page underneath that folder, and it says the expired relaunch package. And again, if you get no response via calling, texting, or emailing, we always want to do that first if possible. Sometimes it's not. Maybe they're on the do not call. Maybe they don't reply, whatever. All right. And so I got to put something in the mail, or I got to door knock them. And starting off strong is what we want to do. So we're going to create the expired relaunch package. This is what Rosanna Sampson used to get a $2.5 million listing into her pipeline, door knocking on day one with it. There's another video here. One of our clients, Scott Murray, talks about door knocking with this as well. Great video. I highly recommend that you watch it because he gives you his script, what he brings with him. Really good. But there's 4 items that are in the expired relaunch package that you're going to door knock or mail. They are the presentation booklet, and it's going to be the same for all of them. So at Premier, it's the same booklet for all of them. Luxury, it's going to be unique, but we're not doing that today. We're doing Premier. There's going to be the cover letter. All right. So once you create that cover letter, all we're going to do is swap out the name. You could add it to your CRM as a template and just swap out the name, and that's it. And of course, the mailing address to the package. The trash sheet, that will be unique, but that's the simplest thing of all. And then the home selling process outline. So there's 4 items that when we go door knocking or mailing that you're going to want to bring with you. Now, if you're with a company or you do more things where you've got, for example, you might be with real estate companies of the world. So you might be with the independent, you're part of that company or that group. You may have other things you want to include are listings going to the Robb Report, the Wall Street Journal, this kind of stuff. You may have another package. Put it with it. All right. You can put it with this. So if you are with KW Luxury, EXP Luxury, you do property videos, you do 3D tours, you want to add some more things to this, awesome. All right. But this will be a minimum. So what we're going to do is I'm going to click right here where it says Premier Expireds. And then we're going to walk through this, right? The best quality and results you can order. So these booklets, you can actually order these from us. So magazine quality, that way you got 20 to 30 of them that you want to get rid of a month. All right. Printing up 1 or 2 at a time is okay, but I want to be able to scale. I want to be able to hit multiple expireds a week, if not a day, right? I want to be able to, we want to get in 5 to 10 new expireds a day into our system, right? That we're reaching out to. So conceivably, I want to be putting something in the mail or door knocking 2 to 3 to 4 expireds a day. And so if I got to print every day, this whole thing and bind it and everything, that gets a little bit cumbersome. So you can order these and they're magazine quality. They look gorgeous. They sit open beautifully. It's that beautiful thick paper. I've had this presentation booklet for 4 months and it still looks fantastic. It still look, and I just pick it up on whatever all the time and it still looks fantastic. Of course, you can print them yourself, and I'm going to show you some great binders in the $50 range that I've got that I can recommend. You really want to be able to do both, especially for the luxury. You're going to be printing those. For the listing presentations, you're going to be printing those. But for the premier, which are the bulk of all of these, you want to order from us. Until I'm able to order the booklets, it's a nice door hanger with the eFlip booklet. Yeah, totally. Yeah, Lawrence. Excellent. Exactly right. Exactly. Yeah. Create a postcard, create a door hanger, put a QR code that goes to the Flipbook. 100%. Yeah, for sure. Yep. I love that idea. Great call. Thank you for making that comment there. I appreciate that. All right. So step 1 right here. Step 1, create the 100-point expired marketing plan printed. Click here if this was not done. So again, William Lott, you've already got this done. Now, I'm just going to walk you through this super briefly, but we're going to do it together. And I would like you to log into your account and do this with me. So we're going to log in. We're going to click on Listings, Add Listing Manual. And then on the next page, we're going to switch the status to expired. We're going to add the headline, the 100-point home marketing plan to get your, it should be, and I fixed it above, the 100-point expired marketing plan to get your home sold when other agents could not. For where it says street, we're going to put a beautiful home. Where it says city, we're going to put Northern California. So I've got everything dialed in, laid out right there. And when I said I fixed it above right here, so not only do I have a screenshot, but I've got it written out for you. That way you can just copy and paste. And you see what I've got highlighted there. It says the 100-point expired marketing plan to get your home sold when other agents could not. So you're going to copy and paste that into that field in listings to leads. And we're almost done. Then we're just going to upload a photograph, and I'm going to show you an example of how I took a photograph for a client. I used AI to change it up a little bit and use a AI generated photo only because I don't want to use a photo of an actual listing. So what I like to do is take a photo of a home in the neighborhood that or your area. Maybe it's a sold listing of yours. And so you're going to see a couple of examples where you'll see one example in particular where I took a home and I used ChatGPT to change it up enough to where it still looks representative of that area, but it's nobody's home in particular. Because I don't want to use stock images. Stock images have no soul. They got no energy. There's no vibe with the stock image. So you don't want to use a stock image. And when I show you what I did, You're going to love it. So Anita, I just added you to the group. Somebody else as well. Lorenzo, I just added you as well. So Lorenzo, Anita, you are now both in the school classroom. And let's do it. Let's do this together. So if you can do it with me, that would be phenomenal. I'm going to go to the listings dashboard. And again, the beautiful thing is you only do this once. And we're going to use the same presentation, the same link for all, like 90% of all the expireds we go after. So I'm going to add listing manual, right? Just like that, those screenshots. Change that to expired. Because I hate typing. I don't hate typing, but I just want to show you how easy. I'm just going to copy and paste this. I'm just going to copy that text. I'm going to paste it right here. Street, a beautiful home. Fair enough. City, Northern California. Right. So where you've got city, go ahead and just put your main sales area. Placer, El Dorado County, Greater Sacramento metropolitan area, whatever. So a beautiful home, right? City, that's your main sales area. That's it. Save and add photo. Now I have, let me find under, and I'll give you the link for this. There's a post in the mastermind group that I just made. I'm going to give you the link. Give me a second. And let me bring it back up because I clicked past it. There we go. All right, check this out. Right here. In fact, I got it right here as well. This is easier. So this is an image. So this was a client's sold listing, right? A sold listing. And it looks nice. It's got 2 streets, all the telephone wires, which I forgot about, but regardless, I think, no, actually, so check out what I did. Check this out. So this is live. This is my chat. I gave it this prompt. And again, it's in the mastermind group. And from that prompt, let me just read it because I know it's a little hard to read. You don't need to be exact. This is not an exact science. All I wanted to do was change up that image enough to where the homeowner would not recognize the next image as being their home. So I'm just using it as a reference. And so what I said was, can I get this home image, but as if it was on a normal lot, not a corner lot, change the color to gray. So it was blue. So change it to gray, change the porch style and entryway and landscaping appropriate for Boston, Massachusetts. Change the second story windows from 2 small ones to 1 larger one and 1 smaller one. And change the trees and curb as if it was an upper scale suburb. And from that, I got this. Appropriate for Boston, keeps the same look and feel of the first home, but different enough, like way different, to where no one's going to recognize it. But it's still a beautiful, phenomenal photo. The agent loved it. It looks great. With something I didn't like about it, I could change it up again, just add more. It got rid of the telephone wires. And then just save it, right? So I download it. And so in step 2, upload image. And I will upload, I will go find the image. There we go. And we're 97% of the way done. We're just going to wait for that to pop in. We're going to click and we're going to be done. We'll just wait for it to generate. So click save and add seller. We're not really adding the seller, so just skip past this. Now we're done. Now we're just going to have to wait about 1.5 minutes for that to generate. Now we're not actually going to wait because I got one from previous that we're going to grab. So you'll come back in about 1.5 minutes and expired. a beautiful home, Placer in El Dorado County. And here's my flipbook. So again, for all of you, this will be live in about a minute to a minute and a half. It'll look something just like this. If you don't have your introduction done, I'll show you that next, because your introduction, you really want that. So again, you're going to see the domain is clickable. The QR codes are clickable. You've got the PDF. So if you need to print it, all right. Now, again, this is what you can order from us. If you order these from us, we actually build the whole thing out for you. You don't even need to do what I just did, because we'll actually do that for you. But it's good to know how to do it. And you saw how quick it is to do it. So now we got part 1 of 4. We got the presentation booklet ready to go. Now I'm going to give you a couple of links to binders, because whether it's a listing presentation or a luxury expired, or you just need to print it for whatever reason, you're going to want to bind it. And so here is, I've got this one, and that's what I used to bind this with. All right. So that was bound with that spiral binder. I've got this one as well. And they're both great prices. And if I could only get one, again, I would do the spiral. You know why? The spiral sits flat. I will show you. This is the thermal, all right? So it's clean, right? It looks super clean. Problem is, especially when it's new, this is months old. So it sits. But when it's new, it's always wanting to flip over, right? It's always wanting to flip, right? So it's always going to want to just go whoop. And so if I'm looking at this, and even on the inside, when it gets into here, it gets just a little bit tight, all right? Versus no, I know some people, they love the thermal. I'm not going to argue with you. It's a personal decision on your side. But on the spiral, right, I can pop that open. I can see everything beautifully. It may not be as clean or elegant on the spiral as the thermal, but all things considered, looking at something and not being able to see on the inside, and then having it always wanting to shut on me, gets really annoying. Does that make sense for everybody? I think, yeah, but do what you want. Do what you want. All right, let's go back and let's take a look at item number 2. All right, so again, we did step 1. And in fact, if you're doing this with me, I'm sure that link now is good to go. All right. Item number 1 through, I should say 2 to 3. All right. But regardless, next up is a cover letter. Click where it says click here. And a number of people have been requesting this today. What you're going to do is request a copy of this. I will grant you view only. You are going to then go to File, make a copy. And that will now make a copy for you. And now you've got it on your Canva account. If you want to use Word, some other program, that's a battle you're going to have to fight. All right. I guess for this one, because it's the same one time after time, it's actually not that difficult to use something like Word. If you want, go for it. We're going to add the QR code. And again, it's the same QR code for everybody. So we're going to do this QR code once. Follow me through. Because doing that QR code in Canva, you can create it in Bitly. You can use tinyURL. You can use Canva. So check this out. I'm going to copy the link. And there's a step-by-step write-up in the school. I'll show you that next. But this is so easy. All right. So I have the link copied. I'm back in Canva. So again, do this with me if you need to. Click on Apps. So you'll see Apps right here in Canva. It's towards middle bottom. So click Apps and type in GenQR. GenQR. The top one will be GenQR. And now you see GenQR right there. Click it. Now the good news is this is now added to your sidebar. So now I already had it on my sidebar. It's down here, right there, Gen QR. But I wanted to show you how to get it to your toolbar. So now where it says QR code content, paste in the link. Boom. We got it. We're good. You can play around. I like to make the margin as small as possible. And you can change the color. There we go. So seriously, it's like blue. Go to your brand color, right? Whatever your brand color is. You could even put hex codes, RGB. All right. Once you got the right color, click add to design. And boom, there we go. Beautiful. I'm going to delete the other one, and I'm just going to, and you can actually make this bigger. Where is, give me a second. Where is, I guess, normally there is a way to magnify this page. I don't see why I don't see it. But look at that. Beautiful. All done. Let me see. Ah, there we go. That's why. It was down below. So here's the cover letter. Now it's easier to see. I apologize. So the cover letter, let's just take a quick look at it. All right. Let me know, type in yes or no. Do you see how I did that? How easy that is? I can do it again if you need to. I can do it one more time. Hello, Sue and Bill. I specialize in helping expired homeowners get their home sold, often for the price they wanted and sometimes more. When a home doesn't sell, many homeowners are left wondering if it was overpriced or even unsellable. The truth is your home can sell. It simply needs the right strategy. That's where my 100+ bundle marketing plan comes in. Please scan the QR code to view the digital version now. And we're going to scan it. This is so powerful. Yeah, when an expired homeowner scans that, now they're going to have the physical copy, but I want it on their phone. I want it everywhere. I want to get a poster and I want to put it in their bedroom wall so that they look at it every night and they look at it every morning when they get up. All right. So I want this thing everywhere. All right. Every single place possible. I want that. And the beautiful thing is, just save this. All I got to do is swap out their name. You can edit this if you want to. Swap out my signature. Add your photo, add your logo. I didn't add the other stuff because I just didn't want to have to make you delete a bunch of things. But I did want to put the basics so that you can see, right? Don't forget, add your signature. And then Canva is so easy. Just go somewhere. Let me show you. If I go to, let's see here. Let me just pick on somebody. NICHOLASLOIZZI. Oh, let's see if I can find Nicholas. I'm sorry to pick on you, man, but I just like to pick on people. I just want to show you how easy. Well, all right. One more time. Realty executives, maybe that's Kim Lozzi. Oh, I should have done the bottom one. Let's do the bottom one. About me. And all right, you know what? Nicholas, this is now you. But I just want to show you how easy this is. Just right click, copy image, come into Canva, paste, and it should paste. Let's try one more time. Boom. And just resize it. Right. Bring it down as appropriate. And see if it gives you the lines, right? It makes it so easy. And just do the same thing for your logo. Oh, that's your wife. Awesome. I love it. Right click, copy image, come into Canva, paste. It's literally that easy, right? With Word, you're messing around. Look at that. It's going to give me the bottom line. See, the line along the bottom lets me know that I'm lined up perfectly. And then to the right, boom. That's awesome. right? Except I'm not as beautiful as she is, and she's not Scott Pierce, right? Per the name over here, but just swap all this out, add whatever information that you need, you're good to go. Now, I will take this off, but you see how to do it, right? It's so easy. And then save this. Now, for some of you, if you've got a CRM, go high level, maybe lofty. I don't know about Follow Up Boss, right? I don't know about every different CRM. I know we're doing a couple of implementations with Go High Level for the Done For You service where we build all this out for people. And they've got the letter capability, but it doesn't have a merge field. So what we do is we save the letter in their documents folder, and when they want to create the expired relaunch plan, this letter then is part of it. So they'll go grab the letter. All they have to do is just change hello, Susan and Keith, right? Whatever. Except you'll spell Keith properly. There you go. And that's it, because the QR code is going to be the same for everybody. The signature will always be the same. So create this in Canva, and then come over here and go share, download, and then download. I like PDF. It says ping, the PNG, but right, PDF, and then download it. So let me back up. When I create this for somebody, I will download it as a PDF. Then I can print it, obviously. Then what I'll do is I'll save that PDF as part of their contact record in your CRM. And then just call it something like Premier Expired Letter, Premier Expired Listing Cover Letter. Perfect. Good to go. Now that's always going to be in Canva, and maybe put a link to it in your CRM as well. So in your CRM, right, grab anyone with the link can edit, copy link, and then put that in your CRM so that you've always got access to it. So when you need that letter, you just click, open it up, change the name, print it, add it to your package. Now we've got the letter, we've got the presentation. All right, so far so good, right? We got 2 of the 4 items taken care of. And real quickly, let me change. That should say items 2 through 4. Sometimes I make the stupidest mistakes when I'm editing things. All right, so again, assemble items 2 through 4. We just did the cover letter. If you forget how to do the QR code, I literally have a step-by-step walkthrough right here, right? In Canva, click the apps, type in Gen QR, select Gen QR. You saw me do exactly that. And then put the Flipbook link where it said QR code content. I did that. Edit the options as you want. I did that, right? Where I changed the color and I changed the margin. That's all I did. Then click the Add to Design button, and then just position it where you want it. It's like literally that easy. And again, for all of our premier leads, which would be 90% of them, it's the same letter every single time. Every single time. Next up is the trash sheet. This is so awesome. I think every week I'll get somebody, and it's usually the trainers or the older agents will tell me like, oh my God, Scott, I've been doing this for 10 years. He goes, yeah, I've always had this as part of my expired program. So this is not something new, right? There's nothing in real estate that's new. It's just, this is pretty damn new. I'm telling you what, nobody has the interactive 27-page custom presentation that you can create in about a minute and a half. Nobody's got that. Only we do, right? That's why we're going to dominate going after expireds. But the trash sheet here, that could be from the MLS, that could be from Zillow, that could be from My Plus Leads, it could be from RedX. All of it is a black and white sheet, all right? 1 page. So if you print it from your MLS, you print it from Zillow, You just want page 1 of whatever. I don't need page 2, 3, 4, and 5. Just page 1. Don't overthink this. This should literally take you from clicking the link, and I'm going to show you here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to show you when I'm using My Plus Leads. So this is a look at My Plus Leads, right? And I got El Dorado Hill, 900,000. Elk Grove, 545. Cameron Park, 1 million. When I click on these addresses, this opens up. And so right here, and all these programs are very similar in the sense of there's a link to Zillow right there. There's a link to Google Maps. So a lot of the times I can get a picture of the property, either from the Zillow link or the Google Maps link. All right. For a luxury listing in particular. And then if you need it, if you don't have it in the MLS or you don't want to go grab it from the MLS, just open up the Zillow link and print page 1 of whatever, right? Just only page 1, print it in black and white. I'm going to explain why in a minute. And that's item number 3 of 4. And item 4 is the easiest. Once you got this printed, circle a few things like I did. Put, I know why your home didn't sell, call me. It is not your job to figure it out. You don't need to sit here for 10 minutes. I wonder why it didn't sell. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. All right. Just circle, I know why your home didn't sell, call me, your name. Put it in the package. That's item number 3 of 4. We are in the home stretch. We're at the easiest part of the whole thing. The home selling process outline. Click here. See where it says click here? Click here. That will take you into listings to leads. If you're not logged in, it'll take you to the homepage, log in, go right back and do it again, and it will take you right here. Click home selling process outline right there and just print this. I would print this and add this to my CRM in my documents. That way it's just always right there, right? You got to keep a place where you got the PDF, if you need it, of the presentation, all right? A link to the Canva and the PDF for this right here, because then you're going to have the big 3 things that you need. The Canva link, you click it, change the name, print it, print this. If you need to print the PDF, 27 pages, or just get the copy you ordered from us. All right. I highly recommend you'll print this a few times and then you'll go, you know what? That gets tiring, because you're going to print it for luxury as is. You're going to need to print it for your listing presentation. So you're going to need to print it. I'm not saying don't get ready to print, because you are going to print this, right? When I go into listing presentation, I'm taking this with me. But when I'm trying to knock out 30 to 40 expireds a month, I ain't got no time to be printing this thing up 40 times. You think I got time to print this 40 times or even 30? No, I don't. I'm already going to be printing it probably 20 times between the listing presentations and the luxuries. I got enough printing as it is. I don't need more on my plate. So with that, we're done. We got all 4 items. Now the next step is, how are we going to send it? So if you're door knocking, that's one thing. If you're mailing, it's another. And what I mean by that is, because you may be leaving it at the door if you're door knocking, because they may not be home. And so it's going to be sitting outside potentially for a week, for a couple of days, right? Even for a day in inclement weather, who knows? Maybe if you're from a lot of the country, the weather changes every 5 minutes, right? Texas, I know, the Midwest, right? It can be nice outside and blue sky, and next thing, an hour later, 2 hours later, a storm comes rolling in, right? That you weren't really thinking about. And next thing you know, that beautiful paper envelope is all trashed. And so you're going to see right here, there's a link to an all-weather envelope. There's a few different colors, all right? White, blue. This is what you want, right? This is what you want. And let me just back up real quickly and say, and I referred to this a little bit earlier, if you want to add other things to this, feel free, all right? Add whatever you want. So again, if you got some slicks about the Rob Report, the Wall Street Journal, this or that, your 3D tours that you do, the property videos that you do, add it to it. Add it to this. If they're home, phenomenal. All right. If they are home, phenomenal. Make sure to watch the Scott Murray video. He walks through the whole door knocking script, and we'll play a little bit with it while we're here. But if they're not home and you're going to leave it behind, put it in the envelope. All right. Put it in the envelope. So this is on the outside. All right. I don't want my cover letter. I know it's called the cover letter. The cover letter should go on top, but don't do that. Put the cover letter on top behind, and then everything else after. Make sense? Because I want them to see this first, because they're going to walk up. All right. It's going to be sitting somewhere, and I want it orientated this way, not like this or this. I want it like this, upright. So that way, when they see it, they're going to see a home on the cover that looks like something in their neighborhood or their area. And it says the complete marketing plan to get your expired home sold. I'm a homeowner. I have a home that's expired. I 80 to 90% chance need to get my home sold. That is called perfect marketing. All right. If I were to do this, I got to start moving around and contorting myself, and I don't know what the heck this is. So we want to leave it like this. All right. And again, we want this on the outside, which is why I don't have a envelope that you can't see through. I want them to see it. Then if I do leave it behind, if you do not speak to the homeowner and leave it at the door, call or text. I hope you appreciate, and if you see something I'm missing, let me know, but I've tried my hardest to make sure that I don't leave any stones unturned with you, that I don't want you to have to, I want you to iterate. I want you to make it better, but I also want to make sure that you're not missing something. But to that point right here, if I'm going to leave it behind, I'm going to call you up and I'm going to say, hey, Janet, Scott Pierce here at XYZ Realty. I dropped off my 100-point home marketing plan to get your expired home sold for top dollar. It's near the bench, right by the door, to the right of the door as you walk out. Let them know exactly where it is. All right. I'm not giving people homework. I'm giving you homework, but we don't want to be giving the homeowner homework. All right. We want to make it as easy and interesting in a good way for them as possible. Make sense? Text them that, call them that, leave a voicemail. That way they're going to get it. They're going to be like, oh, wow, it's exactly where he said it was. And when I see it, I see exactly what it is. All right, that's awesome. Because if they're not home, they may have the neighbor, whoever coming by and say, hey, there's something, some expired thing, something sitting near the bench to the right. Can you make sure to pick that up? Or a lot of people don't go outside the front door every day. Some people don't leave the front door every once or twice a week, right? They pull in, they go to the driveway, walk through the driveway. Through the garage, and they don't even go through the front door ever. So you could be leaving it by the front door and they're never going to see it if you don't call and let them know. Lawrence, I know we can't put things in their mailbox. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, totally. I'm not a lawyer. All right. But yeah, a screen door. I think so. Janet, here, let me drop this link here. And then I'll drop the link to the Amazon envelopes, but I just want you to have that link because that's got all 4, right? Step 1, and then step 2, items 2 through 4. And then the envelope, and look around on Amazon if you want to. Something like this is what you want. Let me just triple check. It's 9 by 12. Yeah, 9.5 by 12.8. Perfect. All right, Janet, I put the link to this envelope right there. Now, what if you want to mail it? So there's a couple of things that are different on the mailing. So check this out. Direct mail, Premier. All right. Same thing as door knocking. But use this envelope or similar using a color that best matches your branding, right? So here's a link, and I'll drop this into the chat as well. And again, use whatever you want. I'd love to find a really nice price box, almost like a wedding, not a wedding, obviously, but like just a really elegant box. I think would be really sweet. If anybody's got a line on something, let me know. I'd love to have that option as well. I think that'd be really cool. But this envelope here, 9 by 12. So, should be a good size. $21 for how many? 40, 50. Oh, 50 here. 250, you're looking at 70. Why 50? If you can get rid of 50 a month, if you can get rid of 50 a month, you're going to be your pipeline, your conversations, in addition to calling, texting, emailing. I don't want to do just one or the other. I want to do all of it where possible. All right. Where possible, I want to do all of it. If I don't have anything I can text or whatever, my main thing is I want to take action. That's first. But then I also want to make sure, I don't know, am I going to get the voicemail? 9 times out of 10, yes. Fair enough. John Summers, all right, and he's not the only one, made 5 phone calls, got 2 calls back, and listed one of them, the first out of the first 5. So on the very first day, he made 5 phone calls. He ordered the booklets from us first. So he had 30 of them. Then he started making phone calls. And his phone call, you'll see his video. It's in our system. It's on the school. I'll point it out. He gives you his script, what he said. And essentially, it was like, hey, this is John Summers at Lake Norman Realty, and I saw your home expired after being on the market for 88 days. And I've got a 100+ point home marketing plan to get expired home sold in the area. And I'd like to drop it off to you tomorrow if you're going to be around. And so I was like, dude, that's bold, right? You're just like inviting yourself over there. But that's his style, and it worked for him. I wouldn't do that. I would just show up on the damn door. I would just show up. So whatever works. That's what I mean. Scott Murray, he did it a little bit differently. So you want to watch his video as well. The reason I linked to this envelope, they just have a lot of really cool colors, right? I'm sure between whatever company you're with, whatever your personal branding is, I think that's pretty cool, that like light purple, but it's going to be, I want it to be something that you love, right? I want to love what I'm doing. And to me, color is very important. I know you can't tell because I wear dark blue I got like 10 of these shirts, right? I'm the worst, but in general, I love color. And so I would love to pick a color that matches my personal branding so that when people get this, it matches my branding, which they probably have no clue what it is because they probably don't know who I am. Regardless, they're going to know who I am. And I just want all that to match. And so if you don't see something that rocks your world, go find another envelope. I'm sure if I were to go down to similar items, we can find other things. Ooh, that's cool. That's A4 though. Ooh, wow. That's actually cool. A4, black, A4, 4x6. Do they have bigger sizes? What's A7? 5.5. Nope. That is pretty slick though. I wonder if they got bigger ones. A7. Yeah, these like cards. Boy, that would be, oh, no, 5x7. If anybody gets the line on these, that would be pretty slick, right? That's pretty nice. But 5x7 obviously is too small. But regardless, all right, because there's one more thing I want to make sure that I share with you. When we put anything in the mail, and that includes the follow-up letter, which I'm going to show you in a minute, that goes out every 21 days. That is also what the standard leads will get. Standard leads are not going to get any of these booklets. Luxury, get the one for their home in particular. Premieres, get the one that's the same one for all premieres. The standards are just going to they're going to start with the follow-up letter, which you'll see in a second. On that envelope and this envelope as well, what I want you to do, and it says right here, include call to action on envelope. Order the stamp below. You can do this with a label. You can handwrite it. All right. You can do just as long as it's on the envelope. And what you want on the envelope is this: your digital 100 plus point marketing plan to get your expired home sold is inside. If you want to play around with that wording just a tiny little bit, but what we want is this: they can't see what's inside of it. All right. They can't see what's inside of it. Same with the letter that you're going to be sending, right? As part of follow-up. So I want them to see your digital, right? That's going to get their attention. 100 point, okay, marketing plan to get your expired home sold is inside. Out of 100 people, how many people are going to throw that in the trash? How many people are going to throw that in the trash? Probably 2. Your open rates will absolutely skyrocket. So you want that on every envelope that we send as part of this campaign. So there's a stamp right here. Notice that's 5 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. Go to custom stamp. And again, you can just get a pen and write it. Do a label. It's fine. I know labels. Labels are fine. Oh, currently on, you guys have been buying it out. My gosh. I've been promoting this too much. I don't know. There's one right there, $12. Might be a little bit small. Oh, there we go. Large. I would probably go with large. It's $18 if you want to do the stamp. And then you go to customize now. You'll pick a color. They all work the same way. Pick a font. I like Verdana. Don't do these cursive. No one can read them. You're just going to annoy people. I would do Verdana. That's the biggest spaced out font, typically. Montserrat would be my all-time favorite, but it's not here. Don't get cute on this. I know someone's going to do cottage and farmhouse, and you're going to just force people to have to figure out what it says. Pick a contrasting color with whatever the envelope color is. And then what you're going to do is, just copy and paste if you want to buy this. Or again, use a label or write it by hand if you got clear penmanship. Make sense? And we'll just wrap it up here. I'm not going to have a lot of time to go through it, but check this out. How to get your mail. Yep. So that's talking more about that on the envelope, right? And here's an example of how you want that to look, right? Your digital one, like you want it to look like that. And the last thing here under follow-up, Premier and Standard. Use the expired letter for Premier and Standard leads, right? That's what we've been talking about all day long. It's going to be sent out every 21 days. And here's the link. It's the same QR code as before. In fact, because I'm lazy, I could just copy the QR code from the first letter, drop it on the second letter. All right, so I got the QR because it's the same QR code for everybody. Now, the only differences that we like to do here, and if you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it, but from the person who gave me this letter, who does a listing a week from it, all right, he sends out these letters every 21 days. He gets a listing a week. He will grab the photo of the property. So when I'm at My Plus Leads or Red X or whatever, and it's the same letter every week. So once I create this letter, again, I'm going to save it as a PDF. I'm going to print it and mail it, and I'm going to upload it to the contact in my CRM. And then I'm going to set a recurring notification. And this is, again, we set all this up for you when we do the done for you service, but it's going to be the same letter every time to that individual. So it's going to take about a minute to create it. But remember, here's the link to Zillow. Here's the link to Google. In fact, the link to this home is actually or the Zillow link actually has a picture of the home. And so just like before, wherever you're at, this could be Zillow. This could be Google. This could be whatever. Sometimes just Google the home address. Sometimes you literally just Google the home address, right? Right click, copy image, just like we did for the profile image and the logo a little bit earlier. Paste it in, bring it up here, and just top to bottom, left to Y, because I want them to see their home. All right. I want them to see their home. I want them to know that I've invested a little bit of time and thought into what I'm sending them. So now they're going to get this letter. It's going to be a normal envelope. You're going to send it every 21 days. And after I get it ready, come over here, share, download. And then I'm also going to print it, right? Because it's going to be a PDF. I'm going to print the PDF, and then I'm going to upload this letter to the contact record of my CRM, set a recurring notification every 21 days. So what it would look like is new expired contact, call, text, email. All right. Typically. And then I'm either going to put, if I don't get a hold of them, I might do this for a week, right? The text sequence, we got 4 text messages meant to go out every 2 days. We cover that in other webinars, but today I wanted to focus on this part of it. But typically you're going to identify, call, and we got the call script. Then you're going to, let me show you. Phone call. I got the call script. I got the voicemail script. You add the homeowner to your CRM if they're not there yet. I'm then going to send a text. And we got four text sequence, which we cover in other calls. We can't cover everything in the same call. We got the email. We're going to email them. I can do this all right from my desk in just a few minutes. And then if I need to, if they're luxury and I can't get a hold of them right in the first week, then I'm going to consider, am I going to door knock them or am I going to mail them? One of the two. I'm going to do one of the two things. That's what we just walked through. All right. For the premier leads, which are 90% of all the expireds in your area. All right. Are we good? Lawrence, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Austin, thanks. He sends out a couple hundred a week. Yeah, he didn't start out that way. He's built it up, and eventually he invested in a nice printer. So he actually prints the envelopes, but he's got a printer that does handwriting font. So what I would recommend, Lawrence, and for all of you, have a goal of, I would, especially in the beginning, door knock the heck as much as you can, right? Figure out who you can door knock, because that's just the quickest way, because people see you, they see you're a good person. They see you got an amazing plan, right? You're not pushy. You're not one of these weirdos at all, hopefully. And then get some listings in the pipeline, right? I still want you to call. I still want you to text. I still want you to email. Get comfortable with that. Get used to that. That's what JJ, in a market with 2 to 3 listings a day, 2 to 3 expireds a day, was able to list 4 listings in 6 weeks. And these were not cheap listings. These were good middle to high price points in her area. 2 to 3 expireds a day. She got 4 listings in 6 weeks. I get 10 to 15. Now, I'm a big area, so really half of them I wouldn't even go after, right? I'm not driving 2 hours for a listing. Realistically, in my area, 5 to 7 a day are coming through. Pay attention to the do not call and all of that, but I'm always call, text, and email. You can always email. There's always an email for most of them. And I'm going to try to get a hold of them for a few days. And then after that, if I don't get a hold of them, then I'm going to look at, do I mail them or do I door knock? And I'm telling you, door knocking is the fastest. If you go to live and recorded calls, I really should put, in fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move this. But first of all, let me do this. I'm going to put the link into the chat. This is one of our clients, Rosanna. I always want to sing that song. Rosanna. She door knocked a $2.5 million listing right into her pipeline on day one. And then Scott Murray as well. He put 2.7. And now it took him 3 days, took her 1 day. She not door knocked 5 homes, I believe. And then one of them answered and had a conversation, right? Presented this to them, had a great conversation. She got invited in. They did a tour and they were like, yes, we want to work with you, right? Our home expired. We're dealing with a few issues, but we love the plan. We like you a lot. Please stay in touch with us. And it's like a month or two, we want to relist and get this thing sold. So with that, everybody, thank you so much for joining me. Please let me know if you got anything, any quick questions before we go. Anything quick that I can answer for you. Get into the mastermind group. I'm telling you this, if by tomorrow at 4:00, you don't have a listing in the pipeline and I'll say just an easy pipeline, not like a definitive pipeline. All right. I'm going to give you a little bit of grace here. If you do not have a listing on the margins of your pipeline by tomorrow at 4 to 5 o'clock, I don't want to hear it. I just don't want to hear it because you got everything right here. All you got to do is take action. All you got to do is identify, call, text, email, print, door knock, mail, repeat. That's it. You will get listings and you'll start getting listings like Leo. You'll start getting buyers. You'll start converting seller leads. You will get more expired leads. And in 2 weeks, you are going to have a different outlook on your real estate career. I promise you. Okay. All right. Again, but if you don't take action, you got to ask questions because you're being held up by something. Something is holding you up. And I want to find out what that is. So get into the mastermind group, get into the school community, ask the question that you need to unlock your potential so that we can get you going. Okay. All right, everybody. Listen, thank you so much for joining me. As always, love it. Love hanging out with you all. Let me know if we can be of any help. We'll talk to you soon. All right. See y'all later. Bye-bye.